Hey everybody, Sean Holsinger here from holsingersflyshop.com. Bringing you another video today. This one is a wet fly pattern. Pretty simple pattern, not real hard to tie, and it's a very good looking pattern. We're going to tie this with the synthetic tapered peacock quills. These are holographic ones that we just started carrying in the shop. I'm going to use an olive color. You can use whatever color whatever color you like. It's more to get the lines of the quills than the olive does show through nice on this one. You get to see it here when we zoom in on it. But use whatever you have on this, like I always say. I'm going to be using some partridge for the hackle. Use a hen pheasant, use a Brahma hen, whatever you have that works for hackle for you. I like partridge, so I'm pretty partial to that. And dubbing, like I said, I'm tying an olive body. I'm just using some olive. You're using such a fine amount of dubbing on here that it doesn't really matter what kind of dubbing you use. I'm using SLF squirrel dub in this one. I just like the stuff, so that's what I'm going to use on it. But use whatever color dubbing you have. Try to match, like I said, I'm using olive holographic quills on this one, so I'm putting a little olive dub ball here, and that's more to hold the hackle up so it doesn't lay down as much. It's going to help the hackle stand up on the hook. So let's get into tying this. Okay, here it is, the quill bodied soft hackle. Like I said, really nice looking wet fly, traditional looking wet fly with non-traditional parts, I guess you would say. We're going to use synthetic tapered peacock quills, and like I said, this is a holographic olive that we're going to be using on this one. And I really like the looks of this fly. We're going to start out with a hook. The hook we're using is a Firehole 633 barbless hook, and it's a 1XL with a 2X gap, and it's a wet nymph hook. For thread, I'm going to be using the wood duck and a 70 denier. Smaller fly, so I'm using a smaller thread on this. And with these peacock quills, you can get a couple flies out of one. But what I do is I always usually tie a smaller and a larger size. I'll tie two sizes. I'll use the bottom end to tie the smaller flies with, and then the top end to tie the bigger flies. And this is a sticker. This is a sheet of stickers, and what you do is you peel one of these stickers off, and they're tapered. And we're going to start it out. There, you can see here how it's big at one end and little at the other end. We're going to start out with the little end. We're going to tie it down. We're going to tie it with the sticky side out. So we're going to wrap the sticky side down against the hook. And I'm going to wrap my thread, wrap the peacock quill back, and I'm going to wrap it to about where the barb would be on the hook. And then I'm just going to cover this up with thread. I'm going to build up a little bit of body here. Not much. I don't want a thick body. That's one of the biggest mistakes that beginning fly tyers make, is a big thick body. So we're just going to go pretty thin on this. That looks about good. I just want enough. You're not going to get any body out of this sticker. So you got to build up a little bit with the thread. I want slightly bit larger than the size of the hook. And then we're just going to keep wrapping this forward, and we're just going to wrap side by side on that sticker. And what it'll do, the one side has a dark line. You can see there, one side has a dark line and the other side has a light line. The light line on this one is olive. And as you wrap it forward, it gives you that nice quill look. And then we're just going to wrap it up to about an eye length behind the eye there. And then we'll tie this off. Now, you can put a little head cement on here if you want right now. There is a sticker on there, and it's not a real strong sticker, but it'll hold in place. It's pretty good there. I like to head cement it or hit it with a little UV glue usually. I actually don't have it handy at the bench right now, so we're going to forgo that one right now. And I'm just going to, next thing I'm going to add is a little ball of dubbing. Like I said in the intro, I'm using the SLF squirrel dub, but you can use whatever you want. Since I tied an olive body, I'm going to use an olive dubbing, and you can see there how much I have. It's very little bit, and it's very sparse. Okay, we're going to put just a small ball right on where I tied that off at there, and just we're going to leave enough room for the hackle. You can see how when I tied that down, I'm just slightly larger than the quill body. It's not a big ball, it's a small ball, and it's just bigger than the body of the fly, and it's just enough, what the purpose of it serves, it's just enough to hold the fibers of the hackle standing up whenever we wrap the hackle down. And the next thing we're going to add on is our hackle. For this one, like I said, I'm going to be using partridge. You can see the partridge feather here. You can use whatever you have. You have, you know, a pheasant skin, a hen pheasant, Brahma hen, whatever. You just need a soft hackle. Partridge is what I like. I like the nice modeling. Brahma hens has this nice modeling too. What I'm going to do is I'm going to strip the fluff back off the end, and then I'm going to come up and I'm going to pinch the tips, and I'm going to peel this back. Okay. And you see how I peeled back there, and then I'm going to trim this off and trim a little triangle here, and that little triangle is going to be my tie downs. There you go. I got my shop dog in here with me right now, old Jovi. She's getting a little restless, so you might hear her in the background. But we're going to take that little triangle, and that's what we're going to tie off with here. I got pull some barbs back here. There we go. And we'll just tie that down, loose loop it to get it into place, and then tighten it down. Make 2 or 3 wraps to get it nice and tight so it don't pull out. And I'm just going to trim that little tag to clean it up. Okay, now I'm going to take hackle pliers and, oops, missed. There we go. I'm going to take my hackle pliers and I'm going to get this twisted here. I got it wrong there. Okay, now I'm going to tease my hackle back, and then I'm just going to wrap it, and I'm going to get about 2 wraps is what I'm hoping to get here. 2 wraps with one of these is about the amount that you want. And you don't want to get too much hackle on there. Some guys are, it doesn't matter. I mean, I've caught lots of fish with too much hackle on there. I'm not going to lie. I used to tie them really heavy. I've went a lot sparser lately, and I like the look of it a lot better with it being a little sparser, but it'll catch fish if you get too much on there. Don't worry about it. But there's about how much you want. You want it, you know, on there, but not really thick. So that looks pretty good to me there. Now we're just going to whip finish this off. And when you're doing this, try to keep your head small. You don't want to get too far back, for one. It'll make a bigger head. And when you're tying your knot off, you don't want to make a big, huge ball there for a head. So try to keep your head small and matching the rest of your fly. Like this one. This one looks pretty good. And that's all that's to that fly. These quill bodies are really nice. There's like no hassle in these. You see how easily that wrapped on. No soak in the quill or anything like that to soften it up. It just wraps right on, and it sticks down because of the sticker on the back side there. So give these synthetic tapered quill bodies a try from Hemingway. It's a Hemingway product which we carry at the shop. I'm sure you're going to like it. I found this is just another one of the many uses I found for it. I use it a lot on my nymphs, and I really like it on these wet flies too. So give them a try. All the materials you need to tie you can find at holsingersflyshop.com. And as always, please subscribe to my channel so you can constantly be updated with new videos. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I'm Sean Holsinger.